For this kerning game, what you're going to do is you're going to adjust the kerning of the letters that are in between the first letter and the last letter. Kerning is really important to be able to create balance and to make your work look professional. Once you start to visually see the gaps between things, you're going to notice them everywhere. There's a font, Papyrus, that I just can't stand, and the main reason is the kerning on it is horrible. Now, in this little demo that I'm doing here, I'm not going to go through and do every single one to get the high score. I just want to move this a little bit further over and point out a couple things to look out for. When you're using any of the uppercase letters that are up higher, usually you have to tuck that other letter in to create balance, because it's usually made like a Scrabble tile where it doesn't let, like most fonts have a straight line, so that doesn't touch. You usually want to tuck that over. Now, I'm not going to get these perfect. I'm just going to go to done. The goal is for you to get an overall score at the end that is 90%. That means that you may do really well on a few of these, but then there's a couple that are exceptionally tricky. So you may have to go back in this and try several times before you'll be able to get to the point where it will show you a score. Now, I'm going through this way too fast to really get a good score. Although that one was fine. They get progressively harder, especially with ones that have the serifs. And notice with things that have angles, it's hard to get the exact spacing right. So with this, I'm just roughly doing it. You're going to want to slow way down and really look at the space between the letters. See how there's big space there. There's a lot of gap there. But as I adjust one, it ends up making it to where I now need to go back and adjust all of these others. So I'm constantly looking at the space at the bottom. I'm looking at the space at the top to be able to, and now I'm thinking that's too far away. So this is the kind of fine-tuned detail you're going to need to get to be able to get one of the higher scores. And even then, it wasn't high enough. So let me go next. I'm just going to move these around. I want to get to the screen that you're going to screenshot. So with this, as I'm adjusting, I'm constantly having to go back. This one's a little trickier because of the angles. And this one, the weird little ear, that's what that is. It's called an ear. That's the serif that's coming off of there, is tricky because you've got these sharp angular lines to be able to get that to fit. And it's got these little tails down here that are kicking off to the end. So that one's a little funkier. Again, uppercase letter. So I'm going way, way too fast to be able to truly get a good score. But this is going to be the process. You're going to go through and you, like I said, you might have to try this 5, 6, 7 times to be able to do it. You'll get really good at the beginning ones or a couple of them and then flounder on the other pieces. Here's where you're going to go. So I messed it up purposely. I was just going through it very quick, but I got an 83. You need to keep going until you get a 90 or higher. Once you have the 90, go ahead and do a screenshot of that score, and then you'll submit that on Canvas.